I keep literally every time I click start streaming,
Yeah.
I am reminded of myself that we need to come up with an intro.
I realised that I think that I've got to do the intro, haven't I? Because I do the editing. So if the episode's going to have an intro, I've got to edit one, really.
Should I just get like a bunch of clips of me and the Corviknight plush in random locations?
Wait. Yeah.
So like I don't know, like just me looking as though I'm just taking an all video in the park or something.
Yeah.
And then it just zooms and there's a Corviknight on the bench.
I would love that. Do you think that you might be able to do maybe just walk around the park and pose in different places, and I'll do like a like really snappy thing, and I'll just cut to you in the Corviknight in like loads of different positions in the park, like
be in the park with the Corviknight, or Corviknight at a cafe, Corviknight in a I don't know.
We really need to go about town with this Corviknight.
Corviknight in London, like
exactly. Oh, speaking of birds.
Birds?
Yeah, I've got another bird story.
Oh, do you?
I do, yeah.
Welcome in. It is. Can you believe we're in June already?
I know. Oh.
Doesn't feel right, does it?
No, and I'm tired already.
I'm tired already. Like, and I had a nap.
Yeah.
It's been a very rough 48 hours for me, so I do apologise if at any point I sound as though I'm shutting down. I am low on health, and I've run out of super potions or full restores or whatever you want to pick, and the low HP music is playing from Black and White.
Oh no! Oh no!
Dun dun dun.
Oh no! The anxiety.
That scared me so much as a kid when I was younger.
Yes.
Just literally, just like felt as though you were about to get like impaled by something. Just dun dun dun.
That and Sonic being drowned. The two like anxiety sounds of my childhood.
Oh my god! Like, yeah, the Sonic drowning music is terrifying.
But to be juxtaposed to the Sonic not drowning, wop wop, is actually quite lovely.
Wop wop. Black and White low HP plus Kingdom Hearts low HP. Oh. Someone made that into us.
Oh, actually, yes, I have heard that. Thank you for reminding me.
That just sounds painful.
Scream into a pillow quickly.
Yeah, literally, just bear with.
Let's start the podcast.
Let's just start the podcast. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 10. Is it 10?
It's episode 9.
Episode 9. I was a bit carried away with myself.
We almost did, like, apparently there's a bit of a tradition of people, like companies just skipping 9s in general.
Really?
Yeah, they just don't really like it. They don't like 9s. In fact, Final Fantasy 9 was specifically kind of like done down to be like, oh, don't pay attention to this. We're already working on Final Fantasy 10. Like, pay attention to that.
That is so true.
Yeah, they already.
That is. Oh my god, I remembered that. Yeah, because they were like, oh, here's the precursor to Final Fantasy 10.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like they literally did Final Fantasy 9 as a love letter, as a goodbye love letter to the previous 8, including it.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because Final Fantasy 9 is a banger.
Yeah, I've never actually played it, but
you should. It's really good.
I'm familiar enough with the story to know that it's really, really good. So
oh, it's so good. My favourite Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy 10.
Oh, yeah, same.
Literally 6 to 10, there's a reason why they're called the Golden Era. Every game, just like, I know people don't like the 8 junctioning system, which is very fair.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm not a fan of it either. 8 was still fantastic. Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Amazing must-play games.
8 did a lot. Like, at one point, there's like an animation going on, like a background, and like 3D models running away. Like, that was like completely almost unheard of at the time. And that was no one really thinks that Final Fantasy's got like good graphics, but Final Fantasy 8 was the first one where they really went, we're going to make this one look sick.
Yeah. The intro to Final Fantasy 8 is generally one of the best intros in video game history.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Liberal Fatale, Classic FM, I remember this, like, I want to say it was like 2005 or something. They did a poll about best pieces of music that people have never heard of, or something like that. It was a really random competition or something. Somebody suggested Liberal Fatale from Final Fantasy 8, and Classic FM played it. And then they got like a bunch of listeners sending in letters being like, play that more often. Like, because they didn't know it was from a video game. And it got more people like being like, oh, okay, video games, like, I think we should be taking it a bit more seriously with the music.
That's really
it's
cool.
Like, well, yes, because like video game music is incredible when it wants to be. You know, Final Fantasy soundtracks in general are just fantastic.
I just realised, because I was thinking to myself, like, oh, it's weird that they would just play that song on the radio. But Classic FM is really interesting because most of the music's royalty-free.
Yeah.
Because it's like so old, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They just go, oh, okay, well, let's just check if it's royalty free. And they check this song and go, Oh yeah, it is because it's actually from a video game, and most video game music tends to be royalty free, so that people can use it for gameplay. It's interesting that they were able to play it at all because of that weird loophole.
When Final Fantasy X came out, whenever we played football, we kept pretending we were playing like, out of the water blitzball.
Oh yeah, because like that would be so cool though.
And like we kept doing like the spear sign. We were singing the hymn of the faith. Just
I wish I was cool enough to have played football when I was young.
Yes. Anyway, this is a Pokemon podcast, by the way.
We're talking about Final Fantasy.
We're talking about Final Fantasy. The Hummet is a bird. He is part dragon, part flying. He is a salamence.
He is kind of.
He's definitely not a Dragonite. Like, let's just put that argument full stop. He is Mega Salamence on crack.
He's like a roaring moon.
Yeah, that's true.
He kind of is roaring moon because he's got arms.
He's got hands.
He's got hands. Yeah, roaring moon looks like more hands than feet.
Oh damn, roaring moon's got hands. Oh dear. But anyway, yes, this is a Pokemon podcast. Yes. We do apologise. Yes. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I am, of course, your host. I am Mac404. With me, of course, is my lovely co-host, the wonderful Barrett C9, who invaded my territory.
Oh yeah, I didn't I?
Like the last couple of days,
just in time for the podcast.
I felt really bad because we were supposed to meet yesterday, but unfortunately my other half is really, really sick at the moment, so we couldn't meet up. But Barrett, did you enjoy my neck of the woods? Did you enjoy Brighton?
It was fantastic. I loved it. We had a really, really great time. The kids loved it. I mean, the kids love rainbows, so
plenty of that.
They were fully
invested in the rainbows.
They had their fill of rainbow while we were there, and they loved it. There's just so many interesting people and places. We went to this there's a Hello Kitty cafe.
Yes.
In Brighton that I love. There was a bird on a place that we ate when we got there. It looked like a Corviknight, and it was crowing away on the top of the decking where we were sitting. And as we were getting up to leave, the guy who worked there turned and went, "Oh, he's here all the time." And I was like, "Really?" Because I love him.
That's Dave.
We see him every day. And I thought,
every day.
I can't believe there's a Corviknight around here that visits this place that we come to eat every single day.
I love that. Just,
cool.
It's Dave again.
Yeah, they love him.
Hello, Dave.
Regular Dave.
But anyway, we have quite a few things to actually get through tonight, believe it or not. We have a Bologna special to get through. We have an update from what we discovered from last week's episode about the Mexico special event, which is kind of nuts, actually. We didn't think about it at all until somebody posted it on Twitter. We also had Japan Nationals this past week as well. I watched a little bit of that. I'm not going to lie to you, Barrett. It looked like a 90s game show.
Yeah,
aesthetically, it was weird.
I saw some, it looked like the stock market was going on down the bottom.
Like, this weird sort of, red and orange lines coming from the floor, like Pokemon's version of Tron, on a budget.
Oh.
So it's basically Tron.
Oh. It's like Pokemon making old Tron. Now.
Yes.
Not the new Tron now.
We also got a jokey paste, but there's also a few things we need to discuss in between all of that. And of course, the main topic of conversation tonight is, of course, the roundtable discussion, where we asked the Discord what was the best Pokemon that was left behind, basically, from Generation 9. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe if you're interested in anything we do going forward. There's also a link to the Discord underneath.
All of our links for everything are in the description. I put a new link every week in the newest video, and the old one from the old video expires.
Well, there we go.
The new one goes up, so you will only be able to access the Discord via the newest episode. But it does say in the description, current link in newest episode. So you will, if you ever want to, for some reason, join the Discord, and this isn't the newest episode that you're watching,
go check out the new one.
The link is in there.
This is literally just for safety precautions, because Discord has been a little bit unstable, let's say. Imagine if the link wasn't there.
Yeah. If it's not there, well, I will look mighty silly.
Awkward.
It will be awkward. Someone in the comments, let me know. Is the link there?
Yeah. If somebody in the comment section, just comment and just be like...
It's Alex.
Yeah,
Mac has commented on your video.
Mac has commented on your video. So yeah, we do of course got a few things to chat about tonight. But thank you, actually, first of all, foremost, for all the people who gave us suggestions regarding the discussion later tonight. We will go through all of them. There is a lot to go through, so there is no Pokemon of the week this week. I was going to think of something stupid to say as Pokemon of the week. Bottle of milk. There you go. Is your Pokemon of the week?
I'm just reading the stats.
Yeah, bottle of milk is stats. Oh my god. Actually, to be fair, no, we're not going into that conversation. That's a completely different conversation, and that's going to take hours.
Base protein in this milk is actually like
protein's actually a really good stat. The sugar stat is actually quite high.
It's quite high. If you put a full investment in chalky milk.
Chalky milk?
Full EVs and chalky milk.
Oh, where's me chalky milk?
The spread is fantastic.
Where's me chalky milk?
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Barrett. I just came back from holiday and I'm still in need of some serious grass touching, apparently. Oh my lord.
I love that. Give me my chalky milk.
That's what we're saying. Hong Kong International.
I wouldn't be surprised if chalky milk Pokemon was coming. There should be. Let's be honest. There should be. Like, if we've got Klefki, we can have Choc Milky. Chalky. Right? Be amazing. Right, I feel like we should start with what has been going on this past week in terms of VGC stuff. So I would like to talk quickly. Actually, I need to clarify this as well, because someone mentioned this in a comment about where we look for these results, because somebody was confused about it. Victory Road is pretty much the place to be for results, information, pokepastes from any event going from the past. Victory Road is very up to date on that kind of thing. It's a very, very, very good website. Highly recommend it to anyone. So for anyone watching this who is asking, like, where do we look at results when they come through? Victory Road is the place. It's just aesthetically pleasing, if I'm honest. Japan Nationals. I'm taking you to Japan first, okay?
Wee.
You have gone to Japan. It's Yokohama. I'm taking you to Yokohama for a couple of days. This happened over the weekend. 192 players qualified, 64 masters, 64 seniors, and 64 juniors. I like that the symmetrical here, like nice, even. Can you imagine if they were like 64 masters, 65 seniors, and 64 juniors? They were like, no.
The guy who got the one bye in the entire tournament wins.
It's just like you messed things up. The format was pretty interesting though. Double elimination bracket, best of 1 before top 8, and then a best of 3 from top 8 onwards.
Double elimination's not too bad. But...
I'm just kind of surprised everything was best of 1 before the top 8.
Yeah, it's pretty old school.
It is a little bit. Closed team sheets as well before top 8. Open team sheets, including Nature's from top 8 onwards.
Oh, okay.
And it was Regulation G. So Japan Nationals getting Regulation G, which I think might be the first time we've seen a competition in Asia using Regulation G. This open team sheet, including Nature's, is a bit... I don't know. Every single time I look at like a format from Asia now, my head hurts.
Yeah, this is incredibly confusing. And considering they're going to have to conform to the I mean, what are they really getting out of having the nature included, other than not being able to do some weird jank stuff for Fluttermane?
I don't know. Shifus?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, Fluttermane.
But that's just making it...
I know, it's... I'm not...
I wouldn't mind knowing, to be fair. If I think about it, there were some...
If I think about it, it hurts.
I would like to know if they're natures, but I wouldn't use them... I wouldn't run Adamant, like, Urshifu if they knew that it was going to be Adamant Urshifu. You know what I mean? So, it just doesn't seem great.
No, exactly. Terrapagos took this one with an Iron Hands on that team. If we have a quick look at the actual team itself, it was a Power Herb Terrapagos with Meteor Beam and Rock Polish, which I think is actually quite different.
The Rock Polish is interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a Rock Polish. I don't think I've ever seen Terrapagos polish a rock.
No, yeah. Slidey Terrapagos. Very fluid Terrapagos.
Just someone's using Follow Me and Terrapagos is in the corner polishing a rock. And it's just like, leave me alone.
You won't believe how fast I'll be once I start
You won't believe how good I can polish this rock.
You'll know, because I'm about to meteor beam this at you. And
I'm about to yeet this at you.
And it's going to happen fast. It's power, baby.
The power of the herb. Obviously, Rapid Strike as well. This one went for a Terra Grass instead of the usual, like, Terra Water. So I would say that it's a little defensive, if I'm honest. Obviously, your Terra Fire, Ogerpom, Heart Flame, Fluttermane with the Booster Energy, Icy Wind, Trick Room, and Taunt on this Fluttermane, which is quite cool. Moongus pretty much standard. Iron Hands still going with the Wild Charge, Heavy Slam, Drain Punch fake out set. Very classic Iron Hands.
Yeah, that's
classic Iron Hands.
Where's the Ice Punch?
Yeah, I make it sound as though it's like Oh, Iron Hands.
Yeah.
You and your heavy slams.
Classic Iron Hands.
But however, however, what I was finding quite interesting is the person who finished second using Iron Valiant with a Kali Ice team, which is pretty cool, using Disable as one of their chosen move slots, which I thought was interesting, actually, because admittedly, before I checked this earlier, I was completely certain it was going to be Wide Guard.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Like, I thought it was just going to be Wide Guard, like a double Wide Guard team to protect the king. But then I also was like, okay, this has got Seed Bomb and Crunch.
It's AV.
Yeah.
That's so funny. And Fire. It's really just making... What does it do about getting intimidated?
Yeah, I was like, what? I was so taken aback by that Kali set. I was like, I have not, like, kudos, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, to get into the finals with this. I didn't even realize it gets Crunch.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Like, I did not know that. I feel like an idiot. I do generally feel like an idiot. Oh, actually, Shortbread Dreaders just said Incin isn't real in Japan. They don't respect it.
Maybe that's true, yeah.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, like, if you look at this, where's the Incins? Like, there is none. Like,
oh my god, there isn't really.
There is the closest Incin is one that finished ninth.
They missed. Literally, the next one is right underneath it.
Yeah,
they both missed out.
It's interesting though. Like, I think this is why a lot of people, regulation sets come out, people kind of turn their eye to Japan, don't they?
Yeah.
And turn to Asia, because it's usually Asia who come up with some pretty wacky stuff. The insight you can get from watching the sort of out of the box teams is also very insightful, I would definitely say, because it's very much like, oh, actually, yeah, this could work. You've got to remember, I can't remember which year it was, but it was the year where nobody was using Mega Kangaskhan because they were like, oh, it's too busy counter. And then Japan literally turned up with all the Mega Kangaskhan's and like 6 out of the top 8 players were Japan.
Oh, 14, yeah?
Yeah, 14, I think, yeah. 14, 15?
Yeah, I feel like Jim mentioned it was 14. Oh,
yeah, Jim did mention it, didn't he? I can't remember which year it was. Japan Nationals, pretty interesting to say the least. I watched Janzu watch it, and I was like, is this Japan's version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Like, you know, the layout of the arena, if you will, of the room was just very strange. You had 2 people in like really weird like display pods. It was like plimps, if you like, you know, the plimps you'd stand on if you're making a speech like to the room. And then in the middle was just all these chairs with people like not saying a word, not moving, not speaking, not clapping or anything. Like, they literally was just
just silently just
I was convinced they were mannequins. I was like, oh, did they not allow people to turn up? So anyway,
so it's socially distancing still.
Oh, it's so funny. But yes, I mean, you know, considering how wild the formats are over in Japan, to get stuff like this is really surprising. I think if anyone's watching and is wondering, you know, if they're new and wondering this, it's always worth looking at the results from Asian competitions, because yeah, they have some wild stuff going on over there, and you know, some stuff actually, you know, when it comes out of it is actually very, very useful, to be honest. Don't stick to just watching whatever the Pokemon company is streaming. Always go out there and see what other people are doing and how people are performing with it. Because, yeah, you can find some really, really wild stuff and some really interesting stuff, like Iron Valiant with Disable.
I'm still struggling to see what the point of that is. Like, what's it for? Is it just to stop Choice Band Mons from wrecking the team?
Maybe. You know, Choice Banded, Choice Scarfs, and Choice Specs Pokemon.
Yeah. There's quite a lot of that right now, actually, to be fair. Like Miraidon, you know? If you Wide Guard on the Miraidon that goes for Discharge, and then you disable it.
Oh, wait, yeah, because does your Cork Drive then makes you outspeed a Miraidon?
That's genius. Wide Guard on it, or take the hit first, I suppose, wouldn't you? But if it does get the speed boost, that's pretty cool.
Oh my god, you make it sound as though it's Randy Marsh, the meme. Randy Marsh just like, I didn't hear no bell.
He's like, oh, this is my regulation. I swear to God.
I think this is actually the first event that is Regulation G, or for Japan, for Asia.
Is Shohei in? Did he play? Do you know? Because he's the current world champion, right?
Oh yeah, you're right.
But he doesn't have to. I think he automatically qualified.
No, he did qualify. Oh yeah, because didn't he qualify for TCG as well?
Oh wait, yeah, because he had the
I can't remember. There's a person who qualified for Worlds both in VGC and TCG.
That maybe
like because he's that nuts.
It's a little bit like when Sage and Park qualified for Go as well.
Yes.
Because he was like, well, I've run out of events, so I'll just qualify for Go then.
I love it. Like, there's so many... Go is an interesting one. Like, I would love to, like, look into Go just because I want to understand...
Yeah.
It's just like, because, yeah, when I turn to the EUIC, it's like Shadow Gligar, Charjabug, Noctowl.
Oh.
Like, so many of these, like, out-of-the-box Pokemon is, like, the viable. But then again, the CP limit is 1,500.
Oh, is that what
how
it works?
Yeah, so you're only allowed Pokemon 1,500 CP or under, and you build teams around that. So it's like Gligar, there was, like, a Shadow Annihilate or something. It's like, what does the Shadow part... Anyway.
Different moves. I don't know.
I would love to understand Go, basically.
Yeah,
like,
I want to know. If any of you play Go,
if any of you play Go, let us know.
Let us know.
Please help us understand, because yeah, it's literally just like click, 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 click. Anyway, I'm not going to... We're getting a bit further into this. But yes, Japan Nationals. Of course, Top 4 as well got their Worlds Round 1 bye and a travel award, which, to be fair, we've seen that throughout when we've been talking on this podcast. We've seen quite a few Asian events offering those type of awards, so it's not exactly surprising. Philippines was one of them we talked about recently, that basically the Top 4 got basically the same... Oh, no, it was Top 8. Top 8 got like a travel award and a Worlds invite because they're structured slightly differently. There is so much different context when we talk about Pokemon Asian events. It's a little bit difficult to catch up with it all.
Yeah.
Whereas over here, obviously, it's very much like you go to events, you accumulate points, you get your Worlds invite. I think if you get over a certain amount of points, you get a travel award as well. But yes, like, it's a little bit wild. It's a little bit different, but we're going to move on. Well done anyway to Hara. Winning the event with Terrapagos. I'm going to ask you, Barrett, and I'm pretty sure the answer is very little. How much of Bologna did you watch?
Yeah, I haven't had time, unfortunately.
That's absolutely fine. I watched a little bit of day one, but then, of course, my other half got very sick. So I've only managed to watch pretty much the second half of day two from like the last Swiss round onwards. Very, very good. Honest, very, very good special event, if I'm honest with you. I would highly recommend anyone who hasn't watched it yet to go watch day two at least. There was some crazy matches. There was one match where they couldn't get a safe switch in. It was like someone was using Dragapult, and of course Clear Body kind of blocks Parting Shot. So he Parting Shotted his own Cali to switch the instant out.
That's
which was kind of, yeah, and then just realised I'm +2 anyway because I nasty plotted, so I'm +1 now. So we didn't really... It's quite clever.
Love those plays. That is what you play for, isn't it? See something
exactly.
Come out with that. That's brilliant.
Very, very high level play. Again, Charlie and Lee and the rest of the crew did a really good job as well commenting on this event. Charlie was in full hype mode on day two. He was literally like, it's your final. I thought he was about to blow out of his suit and just reveal like the Hulk Hogan physique underneath. He's just ripping the shirt off and he's just like, let's play the final, brother.
The Mega Slam Bologna special event.
Charlie, if you're watching, we're sorry.
The reason we say this is because you're such a lad.
You are a lad.
I love the energy, honestly.
James Boyd just turns up pretending he's Macho Man Randy Savage, and then it's complete.
That's it.
Like
Charlie chokeslams him. Speaking of Charlie, I noticed he put out a tweet, I think today or this morning, saying that he's got Absol Gaming as his latest guest, who is like a great YouTuber who makes fantastic long form Pokemon content, usually around some form of very, very, very strenuous and taxing self-imposed challenge that is normally incredibly grindy, but he somehow manages to make it very, very interesting. And
he's very chill about it, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know how Charlie sealed this interview with the guy, but good on him, mate. I can't wait to watch it.
Yes, let me just quickly show you, because actually I feel like we should give him a bit of a plug. Charlie's been doing a series of podcast episodes of his own chats.
Chazindra
chats, thank you. See, I told you my brain's going. I asked him a question actually myself. I don't know if it'd be read out or what, but Pokemon has given you permission to redo a shiny that you consider bad. What Pokemon would you pick, and what would the new shiny look like? But he's interviewed so many people in the past. Very highly recommend watching it. It's basically like if anyone's listened to Desert Island Discs, but it's that with Pokemon. So instead of like what music would you take to on an island, it's what 6 Pokemon are you going to take with you on your dream team your journey and all of that jazz. Really good stuff. You can listen to it on Spotify. You can listen to it on YouTube. There's clips on Twitter and TikTok as well. Go check it out. It's really, really worth it. Really, really good guy, Charlie. Always very interactive with his interviews and just a legend in his own right. I remember asking him at EUIC, like, are you close to doing this? And he was just like, yeah. It's just like, Spotify. Yes, so Bologna had 898 players. In Masters, everyone with X2 or better got through to top cut, and then of course top 8 single elimination open team sheets. Calyrex Shadow Rider took this back to back events for Cali Shadow Rider. This could be the momentum Calyrex Shadow Rider needs. I'm not gonna lie, watching this Calyrex team where it's got the support from Clefairy is really scary.
In the pre-show, for anyone who doesn't know, we do a little pre-show in the Discord beforehand, and I was playing the team that we thought of last week against a team just like this, and yeah, they wrecked us just because they could just protect Clefairy. Just sounds for some reason very unfair. I don't know why. It hasn't got any attacking moves. It's just doesn't sound right. It shouldn't be able to protect.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is the fact that, we're seeing more bulky Calyrex builds with the Clefairy, which then turns Calyrex into a bit of a nightmare, if I'm honest with you. But this having, like, Clover Cloak, Chi-Yu, Prankster Torn. There was another one with Prankster Thunderous, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah.
Then you got Mind Shower as well with the inner focus, so it doesn't get intimidated. Close combat just wrecks Insins. Of course, with the fake out and wide guard, Rillaboom is Rillaboom. Like, Rillaboom's amazing. And yes, Clefairy is literally Calyrex's favorite pet.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's a very well built team, and it's a very well built core, if you will. I think we were saying like a month ago how we couldn't really see an answer for Cali Shadow to sort of drag itself back into the fold. But this is now this is scary, because this is the very first, like Big Boy Blues just mentioned in comments there, this is the first back-to-back winner.
Yeah, that's right.
Everyone else has just been different winners, but Calyrex has now won back-to-back. And of course, NAIC is this weekend, so is Cali Shadow going to continue this trend?
I think it could. It's interesting to see it without that balance core that we've seen it with. The Rillaboom on there, but no Insin, no Urshifu. Getting the Mienshao in there is a bit of an old tech as well. I feel like we're now getting to this point where we are starting to fuse that kind of early and late meta.
I will like to just point out, the Cali might have gotten a little bit lucky in this regional, or this special event, mind you.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I say that is because day 2 is so filled with so many moments where somebody just got a crit at the perfect time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think it was actually the first round in finals. Luca has light screen on that Whimsicott, okay? So Luca led with Whimsicott Miraidon against the Cali and something else. I can't remember off the top of my head. Cali got a crit on the Whimsicott through light screen and O-code it.
Oh, you hate to see that.
So it was like Luca was screwed from the beginning. And then, yeah, Miraidon just had to try and get out of the way of Rillaboom. Honestly, would say Bologna is the crit event. Like, there was so many times where people were just building and positioning, and then a crit comes out of nowhere and, ruins everyone's day. It sucked.
Yeah, it does suck. And I don't really want to advocate against crits,
Somebody's Miraidon, it probably was Luca then. They were on -4 from Draco Meteors, right?
Yeah.
And then a crit comes along and Oko's something.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better about it then. Look, that is the definition of, you win some,
play 2 stripes.
It is. It's just luck. I want to believe it does even out. And if just hearing that makes me go,
honestly,
come on, bro.
If you have time, Barrett, I highly recommend watching day 2. Even if it's like the last 5 odd battles, it's some crazy stuff happens. Honestly, yes, of course, Miraidon finished second. Very good positioning actually from Luca. Luca was piloting this team very, very well throughout the entire event. They put a lot of focus on Luca as well, actually, throughout the weekend, because they had an interview with Lee and another person who I've forgotten off the top of my head. I do apologize. Putting special attention onto this guy, Luca. Fantastic player, clearly. Yeah, honestly, well worth looking into this event. What I kind of liked as well was this French team with the Thunderous Covert Cloak, Eerie Impulse and Taunt being so valuable in this meta, still having quite a decent amount of damage for Thunderbolt to hit, and the Rain Dance. Kali Shadow with Citrus Berry.
The bulk.
With the bulk, like nasty plot. Draining Kiss, Astral Barrage next to Clefairy. You know, with After You, Helping Hand, Follow Me.
Good coverage there. Nice protection.
Honestly, Bologna really gave the meaning of Kali Bulk a whole new meaning.
I don't like Kali Bulk. I know it's probably really good, but I like it better when some Pokemon just stay the way they are.
In my head, I'm just thinking, when you're saying I don't like Kali Bulk, you just see Calyrex Ice in the corner. Am I a joke to you?
People are starting to build Calyrex Shadow Rider. I know that people have tried to do fast Calyrex Ice Rider before, and they have. Jim's done it, you know, one of our own. But that seems like it's a funny tech. When you make bulky Calyrex Shadow Rider, that's not allowed. I don't like that.
I actually quite liked as well the fact that we're seeing these bulky Calyrexes. This Dragapult, which actually got this player Alicio undefeated, like 15-0, going into the top 8. They finished 5th overall. They unfortunately lost their quarterfinal matchup. I remember watching the match. I can't remember how it ended, but like this Dragapult was a menace, running Thunder Wave and then sucker punching things, Phantom Forcing out of areas, and Dragon Darts obviously to do chip damage. Definitely got people to respect it. And also Comfy was on this team.
Yeah.
Like Comfy, which I think is quite cool. I haven't seen Comfy in God knows how long.
It's nice to be able to side prankster some stuff, and Trick Room on there, it's just funny.
Big Boy Blues just asked, what if we ran Kali Ice next to Clefairy and used Swords Dance?
No, not allowed.
Kali Ice is like, I will have my day in the sun again, probably next generation.
It's a great Pokemon to make sure that other Pokemon aren't too good.
Exactly.
That's what it does.
But yes, we did see quite obviously top 8 was very much Calyrex Shadow Rider and Terapagos. Miraidon obviously doing quite well. There was a Kyogre in top 8 as well, with Zamazenta of course rounding up the top 8. I haven't been able to go through all of this, so this is going to be very brief unfortunately. There's definitely a rise in Calyrex Shadow Rider. I could not find for the life of me the usage stats of the days. I completely forgot to check that up, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think Calyrex Shadow Rider was number 1, which shouldn't really be surprising. Incin was not number 1. Rillaboom was number 1 for day 1 at least. I remember seeing
it was it was like 50.4%, while Incin was on like 49.1 or something like that.
And everyone's like, Incineroar's being dethroned, and it's just like,
by Rillaboom of all Pokemon. Rillaboom's great, by the way. I think Rillaboom's
it's the lads.
Best Pokemon ever.
He's the lads.
But I just find it funny that it actually did dethrone Incin of all the Pokemon that. Do you know what it is? It's because no one runs a fire move anymore. That's literally the reason, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rillabooms are just free. There's no fire move in the game at the moment.
free.
He's free.
Just in the meadow. He's like off you fly. Lunana got into Top Cut as well, which is pretty cool. Just seeing there. A couple of Lunanas, actually, which is neat. With Chen-Pao Dragonite. That's quite cool. I want to see where the first Zacian is. If there is. Oh, there was a Brute Bonnet in Top Cut. Let's go.
Oh, I love that.
Sorry, I'm a sucker for Brute Bonnet. I love Brute Bonnet.
Top 36, let's go.
Brute Bonnet is like, everyone's like, it's the ugliest thing on the planet. It's like, yeah, but...
the ugliest menace.
He's still pretty cool. I am a Brute Bonnet enjoyer.
Yes, we are Brute Bonnet enjoyers.
Just having a quick scroll. Hisuian Guja did quite well, actually, in Top Cut. Oh, there's Simipour. 54.
Oh yeah.
So we did see Simipour got Top Cut, but they didn't actually tell us how they got on.
Hey, 54. Well, shout out Simipour.
Shout out to Simipour. Well done, you.
Legend.
Oh, but you're using Smeargle. Why were you using Smeargle? Now I can't congratulate. I'm joking.
What was it? Decorate? Get out. You know how I feel about that. You know how I feel about Decorate, Smeargle.
Barrett's very against Decorate. So much so that whenever it comes to cake decorating, he's like, nope.
I won't do it.
I won't do it. Danny, you do it.
I don't want to.
Don't want to. I'm not decorating it, Danny.
Not Creamy's here.
Danny, I'm not gonna decorate the cake. I'm gonna use I'll use Follow Me, and then you could decorate me.
I would love to, but Spore.
Literally. Congratulations once again to Simipour on the Top Cut finish and finishing just outside the top 50. Really well done. 58 is the first Zacian, with the Zacian Regidrago.
Oh, Dragon Ball Z team.
Dragon Ball Z team.
That is the best. It's nice to know that is the best Zacian team.
Oh, there was such a good fan art I found recently. I'll find it and I'll share it in the Discord. But basically, it was like a Zacian with its behemoth blade ready to hit. In the background, it's Regidrago about to hit a dragon energy as well. And it's like, best friends do best friends.
Legends. But I really like that team. I still haven't used it, but I'm going to.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, Drago, more respect on Drago plays. Groudon, of course, as well, 64th. Good to see Groudon up there. Is there any, like, unusual restricteds that did well? Oh, Eternatus 79 with a 6-3 record. Eternatus, Rillaboom, Entei, Urshifu, Tinglu, and Dondozo.
The Raw Dondozo is so funny.
Raw Dondozo.
What's he doing there? Just yawning.
What's that big fish doing? What are you doing, you silly fish?
It's silly fish.
What are you doing? Yes, I think that's... Honestly...
Oh, all the Koraidon coming out.
Charlie put it well earlier in the fact that, like, of course, this was the last opportunity, really, for most players to get their invites. I think we've been quite spoilt, if I'm honest with you, throughout this season of Pokemon, because, like, the level of play has just gone up and up and up. The actual battles themselves have just been very, very must watch. And I think that is partly due to just how good the commentators have been as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like how engaging they've been. So shout out to Charlie and all of that for that. But also, you know, congratulations again to everyone who did qualify for Worlds from the EU section. You obviously have deserved it. And for anyone who's just barely missed getting their world invite, you still did extremely well. Obviously it didn't happen this year, but that's not going to stop you from trying again next year, is it?
Exactly.
Like, use it as motivation, like drive for next year. The goal next year is to get there, to qualify for Worlds, and I believe a lot of people can. I think, yeah, we have been very spoilt this year for EU events, and of course, unfortunately, this is the last one. There's only EUIC now. Sorry, EUIC, NAIC.
Oh, I can't wait for EUIC 2.
EUIC Part 2, but of course, NAIC and then Pokemon Worlds, of course, are the last two events. No, I think next year, I think we're just going to see that level of competition rise up again. You know, I think a lot of people have really broken through that barrier this year and really have shown themselves to be quite top level players. I would like to do more events next year. Obviously that depends how much money I have, because of course I have to pay off for a wedding and a honeymoon, but I would love to do more events next year. I think it'd be quite cool to go to some, and I'm gonna drag Barrett along.
No, look, I came all the way to your home to where you live.
That's true.
Without you figuring out whether or not I really exist or not.
That's true.
So, you know, you never.
I mean, are you still up for are you still up for the kidnapping idea that we had with Nerd? Just us wearing like different lads masks. So it's like Idsin, Rillaboom, Shifu masks.
Yeah.
And Danny's like, what are they doing? They're kidnapping Barrett.
The lads.
The lads have kidnapped me.
The kid ladding.
Hopefully next year we'll see some just as a good level players this year. Very much. I can't wait for them to stream every game like NFL Red Zone. Oh my god, that'd be insane. Just like click on each individual battle. That would be the ultimate. Like you know how people have like man caves, and it's like I can watch every Formula One or like football match I want. It'll just be that, but Pokemon.
Yeah,
like it'll just be like, do you want to watch this round one game versus where it's someone from Greece versus
the meta might be on the screen right now.
The usage stats is just on the right hand side. Oh, that'd be so cool.
The usage stats are going up and down like the stock market.
But yes, congratulations again to anyone who qualified from Worlds, especially if you qualified it from Bologna. I know there's a few people I've seen on Twitter already being like, I qualified for Worlds, don't feel I can afford to go to it. I honestly hope you do. Like, obviously, like, because it's such an experience in its own right. Just remember that you did qualify for Worlds. So there's comfort in it. Final piece of news is just this weekend there's a mass outbreak happening. You have a boosted chance of getting Finneson, Lotad, or Horsey Shiny with a kindly mark. I was struggling to think if any of these three are viable anymore.
It's a bit of a shame. I have been seeing some Ludicolo on the ladder, and now I wonder if this is why. Which I think is... That's cute.
Do you remember Palafin? Was like one of the favourites to win Worlds, and then Shifu turned up.
Can you imagine if Palafin was still really good? I
think Palafin, I think when we made that argument about, you know, who should have been a world champion but isn't, like whoever made the argument with Palafin, really good argument. Like it didn't win it because obviously Xerneas won. Palafin was done dirty.
Yeah.
Like so done dirty. It's a shame. It really is. And of course Ludicolo is always Ludicolo. Kingdra. Palant's teams was like amazing. Early regulation as well. Big Boy Blue reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kai reminded me of that. I do apologise. Right, so other bits we need to cover. We as in me and Barrett, we covered the Mexico City special last week during our world tour of events. We kind of were surprised to see the Summer's Enter. Weren't surprised, but it was like, oh, cool, another Summer's Enter. Completely overthrew our minds that the second place Summer's Enter was actually not holding its rusty shield. It was just Grassy Seed Summer's Enter.
Which, I mean, it does get the +1.
Yeah.
But only once. Exactly the same as with, is it Intrepid Shield?
Yeah.
Dauntless Shield,
there you go.
Yeah. But then what's the... I don't know, it's not weak to Zamazenta anymore, I suppose.
It's crazy though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, also, I love the fact that it's like triple dark, like Chen Pao, the Mandabuzz, and Ting Lu here.
Because they just know they can't do anything about Cataracts Shadow Rider.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's kind of crazy though. Just bringing that up and just be like, hang on, what? It's Grassy Seed? Japan Nationals, of course, we talked about just earlier. Somebody posted the Pokepastes of the top 8 teams, which, to be fair, I think Victory Road then uploaded the Pokepastes anyway. Oh my goodness, this happened on stream. Okay, right, so when I said I was watching a bit of Day 1, I saw this match. I watched Swiss Round 5. I thought nothing on it. And then I kind of realised these little things at the bottom to signify your, IV stats. And I thought, not a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't cross my mind at all that someone was using a hacked Terrapagos called from the trainer freemons.org.
This the trainer name as well that makes it so much funnier, because you could put it as a joke for the actual Pokemon's name, but it's the trainer name, man. There's nothing you can do about that.
So I was watching this, and then I saw this tweet come out after the match. And I thought to myself, there is no way that happened. And because I was watching it on YouTube, of course, you could rewind it back to like previous minutes. And yeah, it was there. And I was like, how did they go this far? It's ridiculous. I was watching Captain Oro as well, because he was playing in the Spear Pillar and he was talking about it. So I sent him the link and he was like, no way. Like, actually, no way. And we had a bit of a funny interaction with his community. Shout out to Captain Oro, by the way. Captain, my captain. We were basically being like, oh, everyone's alt account is like a website. Like, didn't you know? Like, yeah. Mine is shinyhere.com.
Yeah. I've got gens4u.net as my alt, yeah.
Oh my god, yes. Basically, this is the player. I think this is the actual player who got this. How are you so careless? But apparently, by the looks of it, the person that they got this from let them down. I don't think it's one he brought. What I understood anyway. I might have to dig it a little bit deeper. But there was a second part to this, where of course we saw the crazy, and then. They dropped or were disqualified not long afterwards. I'm not exactly sure which, but basically straight after that match, they didn't do any more matches from that. Will Tank over here saying crazy self-report, so I'm guessing they just dropped because they realised what had happened. Obviously, when you have a Pokemon like that on stream, I think it's going to be very difficult for you to kind of like avoid the controversy.
Yeah, I saw some guy. Also, by the way,
damage limitation.
You never normally see that screen in a match.
Oh yeah, no, the fact that they went into their own summary screen.
Why?
Like, yeah, that what confused me. I was like, are we not entirely sure what we're running?
Do you know what I think it might have been? Maybe I wonder if he had a calc in his head.
Maybe,
and it didn't play out, and he went, "Why?" And he went to go check the stats and went, oh, yes, this is entirely wrong. And he probably also got a huge, not only disqualification for that, but he would have had the whole Pokemon wrong. Because what I'm assuming is, there's no way he's stupid enough to train that mon and get it out. What's probably happened is he's probably got 2, and he's picked up the wrong one, put choice specs on it, put it in the team, gone to the event, then realised later on, that's the wrong guy.
Yeah.
And the thing that's clued him into checking the stat screen, he's probably got, because I think it's knocked out, yeah?
No, it's not knocked out, no.
So what he might have done is gone, why did that do so much? Or why did that not do enough damage? Or something like that. Gone to check the stats are right and gone, oh no, because apparently I saw somebody said on Twitter, it got to that screen and then he backed out so fast, but it was like the damage was done.
Yeah, damage was done. Yeah. It doesn't take anyone, it takes everyone a second to notice.
Yeah.
Like, when you're broadcasting to 3,000 people on Twitch, and I want to say it was about 6,000 on YouTube, someone's going to notice. Are you telling me someone out of that 9,000 isn't going to see it? Like,
so brutal. But...
It is brutal. And to be fair, I think this is more damage limitation. Like, they knew they didn't have a choice. They had to sort of just back out. Which is,
fair, if I think about it, if it was me, if what had actually happened, if it was the way I thought, if it had happened to me, I'd probably go, oh, screw it. You know, let's just... Because, you know that you're going to lose your Terrapagos for the rest of the tournament anyway. Yeah. So there's not really any point going on. Because even if it was a genuine mistake, you've got to go, right, well, that is actually my bad.
You've got to take it on the chin, right?
Yeah. Whatever.
I mean, to be fair, it's just said in the comments. Kai being like, yeah, how did they get to the sub screen? In my mind, when I saw that comment, my thoughts were like, what if the controllers just decided I'm going to be evil?
It's Joy-Con drifting.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons were like, I'm going to force you to show me your screen.
The universe has spoken. You are not winning this tournament.
Yeah, literally, like, the Joy-Cons have spoken. You are not doing this.
This is how Japan win Worlds this year.
It actually turns out Nintendo, like, included some coding inside the Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
To be like, if Pokemon is playing... Go to summary screen. But anyway, yes, this was kind of the big controversy of Bologna. Of course, the commentators, from what I understand, didn't even see it. Because, of course, they were too busy commentating. But probably by the time they got told about this or saw it, of course, they're not allowed to talk about it because, the controversies around it. It's supposed to be a professional event. Like, doing that is kind of unprofessional. By the way, Pokemon, I love you. Please hire me. Me and Barrett could be a good co-hosts.
We'll do the full get-up. This is what we'll do. We'll do whatever you want.
We'll do whatever you want. We love you. Please love us.
We've got the merch.
We've got the merch. I have a bunch of plushes behind me. Don't test me. Last bit I want to talk about before we go on to the main topic of tonight was a meme from Z Banded. I want everyone to apologise to Iron Bundle because everyone has now decided clicking Hydro Pump is 80% accurate is too risky. Choosing Clefairy and hoping Sing hits, which is 55%, is viable. I want everyone to apologise to this mecha chicken.
Well, I have to say, in defence of Clefairy, even though I do really, really wish that Iron Bundle didn't get so much hate, Clefairy just won.
I know.
Even though it had Sing. And the Iron Bundle has not been doing any winning.
The Iron Bundle cannot sing. Iron Bundle needs a friend guard, clearly. Yeah, I love Iron Bundle. I will defend Iron Bundle to the ends of the earth if I have to. I know it's not viable. Big Boy Blues just pointed out people are running Bleakwood Storm, which is 80% accurate.
Yeah.
Like, come on. People should really apologise to Iron Bundle. Like, if you're running 55% accurate Sing Clefairy, then, like, you should be complaining about missing a Hydro Pump.
I've got the results for Iron Bundle. The full history. It has won, from what I can see, 2 events.
Oh, well done, Iron Bundle.
It's piloted by Shiliang Tang at the US Hartford Regionals last year.
Oh, my God, of course. Good. Yes, I watched that.
That great guy, and Emilio Forbes, who is like the best Pokemon player ever or something. Do you know, like,
yeah.
Iron Bundle can win as long as it's being played by or Justin Karras. There you go.
There you go.
He's pretty good.
Oh, to be fair, I ran Hypnosis Politoed. Guys, what are we doing? Anyway,
what are we doing?
This is why we need a Misty Terrain Pokemon, honestly.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. That is a Galarian Weezing. But I think that's literally the only Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet can have Misty Terrain. Misty Surge, rather. Speaking of Tapus...
Well, what a segue.
What a segue. I wasn't even planning that. That's how smooth it was. The bulk of this episode is now going to be talking about the main roundtable discussion. Last week, we asked the question, what's the best Pokemon that was left behind? Let me just get up the list again so we have full clarity about what the rules were regarding this question. I posted a list of unobtainable Pokemon for Scarlet and Violet, and as you can see, there is quite a few. Quite a lot from Gen 1 onwards. Okay? There's a lot of Pokemon that hasn't been given a chance to shine in Scarlet and Violet, and probably never will. Now, there are definitely some Pokemon that have missed out here. So we asked the question, which Pokemon was the best? Done well in Scarlet and Violet in any format. It doesn't have to be Regulation G. It could have been Regulation A, D, C, Z, if they come up with one.
It gets there, hopefully.
The only rules we had, no legendaries, but we can discuss about legendaries if we want, because, to be fair, the Discord discussed it quite a bit.
We did touch on it, yeah.
Sub-legendaries, mythicals as well, we weren't going to add into the conversation, because they were kind of obvious picks as well. We did allow the Ultra Beasts, though, because the Pokemon Company doesn't really understand what it wants to class the Ultra Beasts, like whether they're legendaries or not. Which, again, it's the same argument with Dynamax as well. They couldn't agree. They still don't agree as to what Dynamax actually is. They probably don't even agree what terrestrialization is anyway. I think what we should do, Barrett, I don't know about you, because we do have quite a few Pokemon to talk about. Like, quite a few. I'm not even joking. We got a good, 10.
10, yeah.
I think we should try and narrow the list down to, 5.
Yeah, sure.
Or if you want to just go full mayhem and make people choose between 10 Pokemon, I think we can. I'm just going to quickly check, because there was quite a lot, so I'm just going to quickly check if we have missed any.
I don't know if I added Walrein to the bottom of the list, actually.
I will have a quick look. Yes, you did.
There we go, cool.
Walrein is actually, well, we'll talk about that one first then. So the first Pokemon up for discussion was from Silent Mater. I want to say that's how you pronounce their name. I'm so sorry, Silent. I am disgraced. Walrein's an interesting pick, actually. He's quite bulky. He's quite a little bulky chap. And obviously, it's Thick Fat the only... Oh, it's got Oblivious, so it can't be immune to... it's immune to Intimidate.
And Taunted. I don't know if that really helps it at all, but Thick Fat is a good ability right now. I mean, it worked on the Dugong team for that weird reason. So it would do something, wouldn't it?
Did you know Walrein cannot learn Ice Shard?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully it would get it.
Oblivious Walrein actually is quite good. It is actually a little bit surprising now thinking about it, because that is actually really solid.
It's good bulk, actually. That's really respectable bulk with ice. Yeah, I mean, ice type does let it down, but ice water is not too bad.
Big Boy Blue was saying Terragrass Thick Fat, which actually is quite gross. If I'm honest with you, Ice Ball. What does Ice Ball do again?
It's the opposite of Electro Ball.
Ice Ball doubles power with each hit, repeats for 5 turns. So it's kind of like another form of Icicle Spear.
Oh, it's rollout for ice. Oh, it's rollout.
Oh yeah, rollout for ice types. There you go.
Ice types. That's so interesting.
I think Walrein's quite a decent pick. I'm struggling to think, because of course we have Iron Bundle in Gen 9. I'm thinking of other ice water types that it would have to contend with. Lapras. I think it would do, Lapras, Cloyster, but then again, Cloyster's more of a singles Pokemon.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because I love Cloyster. I think Cloyster's amazing.
Yeah, I think Cloyster's really cool as well.
Shell Smash and then just Icicle Spearing everything is just, beautiful.
Yeah, it's one of the funnest random double battle techs that you get to do.
It's so much fun. Also, actually, thank you for that. It also gets a physical boost from Hail, so its defenses, of course, is better.
Could fit onto a Hail
Oh my god, it gets Belly Drum? I didn't realise that.
That could be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, a Belly Drum set. Yeah, Walrein.
And it can't be intimidated.
Okay, I saw this Walrein and I thought, okay, this is good, but it's not going to really be shining. Now it's shining on me. Doesn't this sort of counteract Ursaluna?
Yeah.
If you had this Walrein in Hail against an Ursaluna,
I think that'd be really cool. It would definitely wall it quite well, wouldn't it?
It could probably hold up against Iron Hands as well, actually, if you position it correctly. Especially with that Terra Grass.
Terra Grass is probably quite good on it, actually.
Yeah. Oblivious Belly Drum Terra Grass set. There you go. Yeah, Walrein. Actually, I quite like this. Walrein.
Put it on a team with a DD.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah, it would have to be in a DD or another Follow Me Mon. So, next up, it doesn't say who actually submitted this, so I do apologise, but Durant.
Oh, so I think that was Your Conscience. They mentioned Durant quite a lot.
Oh, of course, yes. Honestly, this is another solid pick. Because if you remember very early on in Sword and Shield, Durant was one of the most popular Dynamax Pokemon. Doesn't surprise me at all. Having Hustle as well. What's the Pokemon that has the ability to lower evasion?
Oh, Diplin.
Driplin.
Hell yeah.
Have you seen how much drip he's got? Diplin next to a Durant is quite scary. With the Hustle, considering its physical attacks, the accuracy that goes down. Just lower the evasion stat.
It could have been quite good on early meta teams, on Pala Balance teams, because having a really strong bug move and then having the Palafin Jet Punch to just get rid of fire types that would annoy the Durant, that'd be pretty cool, actually.
Just under 110 attack with 109 speed. Yes, defensively it's rubbish. 112 defense is all right, But Bug Steel is one of the best offensive typings in the game. Will it do well in Gen 9? No, I'm not 100% convinced. Obviously, you can terrestrialize your weakness away and just go Terra Fire. Or Terra Water, for that matter.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, the typing being able to go away would have helped it fantastically, to be honest. That kind of makes it a good candidate. And Stab Bug is great.
Yes. No, without a doubt. Especially, early regulations. Everyone was still trying to figure out which Treasures of Ruin Pokemon is going to work for them. We saw a lot of Wu Chen and obviously Wu Chen reactions, Ting Lu and things like that. Like, Bug is really good in that regard. Durant definitely could have worked in a regulation. I just don't think it's going to work in most regulations.
Yeah, I think the Treasures of Ruin there, actually good point, because Chi-Yu and Chien-Pao were really good early on, and I don't think Durant can really take on Chi-Yu badly. Maybe it might have been a good check for Chien-Pao, actually, weirdly enough. That's quite funny to think about.
Yeah, and I've just remembered off the top of my head, and I'm glad Big Boy Blue sort of commented about this as well. I struggled with Sizzle as well.
Yeah.
Like, Sizzle being, of course, another Bug Steel type, I struggled to get anywhere with Sizzle, if I'm honest. Like, Sizzle's a great Pokemon. It's just in Gen 9, something went wrong. And obviously, Sizzle lost quite a lot of its utility. I think it lost Bug Bite. Yeah, from what I remember, I was running, like, Bullet Punch, Terra Blast, U-Turn, and there was another one. It might have been Dual Wind Beat. It lost a few Technician moves.
Yeah.
So it was really annoying to deal with. And then, of course, Terra Fire. Flutter Mains were running around, so that was not fun. Durant could have worked. I just can't see it working most of the time.
Yeah, I think it would have been good early, but it would have fallen off pretty quick.
Definitely would have fallen off pretty hard. It would have fallen off harder than a Palafin. It's so sad saying that.
Yeah, and the fall off of Palafin would have made Durant fall off even harder. So
exactly.
Yeah, probably.
I want to actually go on to another bug type from that. I want to talk about Golisopod.
Yeah.
This is a pick. Honestly, surprised me that this wasn't actually included to begin with in Gen 9, because I thought Golisopod would have actually fit in the overall theming of Gen 9. You know, islands. It's the same with Starmie. I thought Starmie was a guaranteed Pokemon to turn up.
Yeah.
Like Onyx as well.
Golisopod did make the cut last time, but yeah, I agree. It would have been really cool. I think any more water types would have actually been pretty good, because we've been kind of spoiled that we just kind of get like one good water type at the moment each regulation, and it's kind of, it would be nice to have a bit of diversity.
Yeah, so like what I thought was quite fascinating about this Pokemon was, of course, that massive 125 attack stat with base, 140 defense and 90 special defense. Obviously, only 75 HP isn't the worst, but it's not exactly brilliant. But the fact that it's only got 40 speed, I thought was quite interesting. The fact that it could probably be used in a Trick Room format. Its ability obviously lets it down. The emergency exit ability. Is it the worst ability to give to a Pokemon? I feel like it's one of the worst.
Do you know what, actually? I will say there is some really good utility to emergency exit, though.
It's true.
Let's say, for example, do you know what? It would actually be quite good right now into Calyrex, both forms.
Yeah.
Because if you could survive an Astral Barrage and a Glacial Lance, like, let's say, for example, if it was like AV, and you had a good enough investment, like, let's say they even, you don't know if they're going to go for an attack or to go for Trick Room. You could get 2 attacks off. If they go for Trick Room, you're slower next turn. So if you attack into them, you could probably 2-hit KO them with Leech Life. So
yeah,
I think it'd be quite good.
I think what's interesting to talk about as well is the fact, like you mentioned about utility, like Golisopod gets a lot of cool moves. It can learn Knockoff, it can learn Leech Life, Liquidation, Poison Jab, Rock Slide, Shadow Claw, Sucker Punch as well. First Impression is a really valuable move, but of course with the introduction of Faraffarig, probably not the best. You can easily just go Terra Water, go for that Liquidation, and you're basically just a slower, bulkier Palafin. I do think Golisopod does have a place in this meta. It is a bit of a shame we're not going to see it.
Yeah.
But I do think Golisopod, maybe next generation, like when it gets reintroduced, depending on what that gimmick is going to be, Golisopod could do some work. Maybe for a reason we're not seeing that Golisopod in Generation 9. I still think it's a shame. I think Golisopod could have actually done very, very well, especially in the earlier regulations. You could easily, like you mentioned about the AV set, Like, can you imagine AVing yourself in a situation where you could just tank Fluttermane?
And not having to run U-turn, but being able to get the U-turn to utility as well. It's kind of like what was, I suppose, failing to get out earlier. Let's say you're in Trick Room, you get your cycle first, then you get hit, and you switch in your Fake Out one.
Yeah.
That's great.
You could recycle pretty well there.
Yeah.
Or position rather really well there. Yeah, Golisopod I think is actually a really, really solid pick. I can't even imagine what Gen 10's gimmick's going to be. I don't think anyone can, honestly.
I think it's Mega Evolution.
Oh, yeah, can you imagine
That's what I think it is.
Mega Evolution Part 2. We need to think of Ultra Evolution.
Ultra Evolution, yeah. Finally, Pidgeot is good.
Next one I want to talk about is something actually I was thinking. Ferrothorn. I am so surprised. Again, I'm so surprised this Pokemon wasn't picked in Scarlet and Violet, because I thought terrestrialize Ferrothorn, it sounds like the grossest thing in the world. Like,
it's the only thing keeping it back.
Yeah,
it's so weak to fire.
Yeah, so like imagine terrestrializing. It's similar to what the Metagross situation, where it's Terra Dragon or whatever terrestrialize out of it. Metagross now it's not very used, but like it had a lot of potential, basically. And I think Ferrothorn is exactly the same boat. And the fact that it's 20 speed as well. Can you imagine putting this on a Cali Ice team?
Yeah. Oh, imagine putting that on a Cali Shadow team. And they put up Trick Room, and they're like, oh no.
Just, okay, out comes my Ferrothorn.
Ferrothorn's going to destroy them.
Like, yeah, there's probably a reason why Ferrothorn's not in Gen 9, because it's a little bit overpowered, in my opinion.
I think so too.
Body pressing.
Think about all the things that it does that require multiple Pokemon to do at the moment. It's basically, World Chen is just Ferrothorn cope, right? Let's just admit that right now. Everyone who's using Wo Chen just wants their Ferrothorn back. It's doing all the things that does. Back. It could be a body press mon with, it could be leech seeding.
Knockoff.
It could be doing too much. It's knockoff. It's just too good.
It is ridiculously strong. It learns Poison Jab as well, which a lot of Pokemon in Gen 9 don't like poison moves. Shadow Claw as well could set up Stealth Rocks if you really wanted to be a singles competitor.
Steel Roller to get rid of
terrain. Like Iron Head, Gyro Ball, because of course it's the slowest thing. Yeah, there was probably a reason why Ferrothorn is not allowed in Generation 9, and it's because it's too good.
Yeah.
It is too strong. Also, with its ability Iron Barbs, meaning contact moves lose HP. Like, can you imagine if you're Urshifu and you're like, okay, I'll close combat.
Rocky Helmet. Has it
got Rocky Helmet Ferrothorn? No.
Ridiculous.
Oh, no. Don't say that, Barrett. Don't do
that.
Oh my god, no. We're not doing that. That's gross.
It could get it one day.
Can you? Okay. The day Ferrothorn gets Rage Powder is the day you know that we've gone too far.
Yeah. They give it Spore and we go, no.
Yeah. Ferrothorn was what we needed to deal with Fluttermane without fire coverage. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, Ferrothorn would have been the perfect Fluttermane counter, really. Ferrothorn in general, I think if it was included in this, easily Ferrothorn would have been a world champion right now. You look at last year's world championship team, Ferrothorn could probably deal with half of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so high defense. I don't even think it really cares about Chien Pao's,
No, probably not.
Like Sacred Sword or anything.
Or Iron Hands' Drain Punches.
Nah, yeah.
Like, who cares?
It would actually patch a defensive hole in so many teams, actually. It would be ridiculous, especially the physical attacking ones now.
Ferrothorn would have been brilliant.
Yeah, it would have been ridiculously good.
Honestly, I think Ferrothorn easily is one of... Yeah, I would vindicate Ferrothorn is the Pokemon. But obviously it's up to the Discord to decide.
Yeah, it's up to the board.
I'm not... I can't force you to choose. Can you imagine if we ever did like a film, like a court film, and it's you as the... prosecution, just me on the stand, and it's just like, did you manipulate the results to get Ferrothorn to win that poll? It's just like, I did not. And it's just like, tell the truth. And there's me, you can't handle the truth.
You're just like, I didn't interfere with any elections. It was I
didn't do it. Okay, I didn't do it. Ferrothorn is the best. Okay, it wasn't me. Perfect. Fluttermane, best friends.
I've always said steel types are the best types.
I always said steel types. My best friends, steel types. My best friends. I blame the fairies.
Oh wow, that was. Do you know what? I don't like to say it. Ferrothorn would be.
No, don't say it.
Be a bit of a Trump supporter.
Oh.
Just like the fairies.
Right. Ferrothorn's not going to win this poll now.
He's kind of bagger, isn't he?
Barrett's just associated it with Trump. Well done.
To be fair though.
Somebody draw up an image of Ferrothorn wearing a Make America Great Again hat. Next Pokemon, we're only halfway through as well. Next Pokemon to talk about is Kartana, the first Ultra Beast that was submitted on our list. And again, I'm not surprised. This thing is gross. this thing is quite disgusting. 181 attack.
Yeah.
181 attack.
That is the highest.
It's so disgusting. I personally think the only thing that lets this Pokemon down is the fact that its speed is 109. There is a lot of things in the meta now which are easily over 110.
Well, not hitting 135 and requiring that speed support.
Yeah, because I think as well, like you mentioned, like there's a lot of Pokemon that's 135, like Paradox Mons. That 31 special defense, Kartana, I don't think can terrestrialize into much that can stop.
So I did see that Kaya mentioned Fluttermane stocks going down, and I did think that back a while ago. I was thinking about it with Jim, and I'm not gonna lie, neutral Icy Wind into this guy does way too much damage to actually genuinely consider that Kartana would be a problem for Fluttermane. So it would have to run the AV set, which has like 200 and something special defense investment and AV, and then it just get mystical fired to death, which would mean it would have to terrestrialize. So you're using up AV, no protect, and terrestrializing, and it's only 109 speed. It actually does just. You
would actually have to be in Tailwind 100% of the time.
Yeah, and you have to also prevent Tailwind on the opponent.
Also, it doesn't really matter what you terrestrialize into. Shadow Ball is still going to be a thing.
Yeah, legit. Because they'll Shadow Ball it and it will go down no matter what. It'll have to Terra Dark.
It would have to Terra Dark or something.
Yeah, and then it would Terra Normal.
Terra Normal.
It would still go down to like Urshifu and stuff. Or it might not, actually. I think, weirdly enough, Terra Normal might be the shout.
The only Terra Normal move... Return, and I don't think Return's even legal anymore.
It doesn't get that anymore.
No, it doesn't get that anymore.
Terra Blast? Cut, yes. Wins the game with Terra Cut.
Terra Normal Cut.
Wait. Is Cut
I don't think
cut. I don't think power to get. Oh wait, no, it's not. Damn it.
No.
That doesn't.
Yeah, it would have to be Terra Normal, Terra Blast, and then you would have to hope that the Fluttermane Terra Fairies or something.
Yeah, you wouldn't get.
It wouldn't even do it. Yeah, because like 252 without any like nature investment or AV investment is 83, which is a really bad number. That's really, really low. Kartana would struggle a lot, I feel. I think Kartana would have been brilliant, don't get me wrong. Like, I think Kartana, would have been great. There is literally too many things that can deal with Kartana, whereas the opposite of that is, of course, Ferrothorn, because it's so bulky. Ferrothorn could deal with a lot more things very, very well, which I think kind of sums up Gen 9, though, doesn't it? Is a very bulky it's a very bulky generation. Like, Generation 8 was very, offensive.
Yeah.
Generation 9 for me is very balanced bulk.
It is. You're actually very right, and I was thinking about that exact thing. When you said Ferrothorn, Kartana, well, Ferrothorn's good, but Kartana isn't. It really did display how perfect the dichotomy of these two Pokemon are, because one of them was very, very good last generation. Kartana was actually one of the best Pokemon last generation. I think in series like 9 and that, it was really good. I genuinely thought it was great. But it's because it could take advantage of Dynamax and Beast Boost being like a really good combination.
Yes.
Yeah, now the other way around, Ferrothorn would now be the much better one, because terrestrialization does tend to, like you said, it's more of a defensive thing. It can be used defensively, just like our Dynamax could be used defensively, but it just wasn't as good defensively.
Exactly.
Much better offensively.
Yeah, I do feel sorry for Kartana, but yeah, I can't see Kartana working. It definitely wouldn't be allowed in the early regulations. It probably would have been allowed when Urshifu was in, which then again, when Urshifu was in, like, so was Fluttermane, and so was the Treasures of Ruin, Chi-Yu as well. Like, are you telling me Kartana's going to deal with the Chi-Yu?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it'd have zero special defense. Like, it would Chi-Yu
can sit on it.
Yeah,
and Kartana's like, well, I'm done. Instead of squish the fish, burn the paper.
If anyone didn't see our clip, by the way,
please do. It's hilarious. We posted on Twitter. Right, next up in terms of non-legendaries, this was an interesting. Big Boy Blue submitted this one. Kangaskhan. I can find it. There we go. Kangaskhan. I'm intrigued about this one, because part of me is thinking it might just be fake out last resort.
Oh, yes, the BDSP approach.
The BDSP approach. I don't think Kangaskhan is a terrible pick in any shape of the word, because, like, it's got Scrappy, like, which can hit ghost types with its normal moves, so you can hit it with a Facade, maybe.
Yeah.
It's also got Inner Focus as well, which does help out a lot. I'm just a little concerned about the fact that it's a normal type.
Well, I was just thinking, well, how fast is this bad boy? Or bad girl, sorry.
It is 90.
90. Okay, that's all right. I think that this would have been really, really good when Annihilate was going mad as a Pokemon.
True.
Hit and fake out and Annihilate, and then also is immune to Rage Fist. It does have to worry about like Drain Punches and stuff, but it's faster. It's got pretty good defense. Being able to fake it out turn 1 to get it gives it a Rage Rage Fist boost, but it doesn't have to personally worry about that, and it gets a ton of coverage. The thing that made me think about it was that you saying it would be like a fake out last resort guy made me think about how it was the final Gambit mon.
Yeah, I think it is interesting though, like you mentioned, fake out Scrappy dealing with Cataract's Shadow Rider, for instance, or dealing with it could definitely deal Flutter. Like Flutter, I think would legit have a bit of a problem with this. It's bulky enough to probably deal with a Flutter main for a while. I kind of would see Kangaskhan more as the support.
What kind of support does it get actually?
I don't know. That's what I was kind of thinking. Fake out. I mean, it gets Roar, which I think is interesting actually.
I love Roar.
You know, you can Sucker Punch as well. Yawn.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it gets Wish as well. I think there is a good amount to this. Don't get me wrong. I think Kangaskhan, I've never personally used Kangaskhan.
Neither have I.
Like, I think the last time I saw a Kangaskhan properly was the fact it was Mega Kangaskhan. Which again, yeah, if we had a meta where we had every gimmick just against each other, like Mega Evolution, Z moves, like Dynamax, Terrestrialization, that would be mental. Like Mega Kangaskhan versus Terra Fairy Kali versus Dynamax G-Max Blastoise.
That'd be cool. If I could have a G-Max Blastoise, I could have my Mega Kangaskhan double fake out the opponent so that it gets 50% damage from fake out, and then it gets chipped by the cannonade to death. That'd be pretty mental.
It'll be pretty mental. Like, there is definitely going to be a point where Pokemon is like, sod it. Have everything.
I think Gen 10 is kind of like...
Gen 10 might actually be that.
I've got a feeling it will be more like a Dynamax is now legal, now it's not, and now Mega Evolution is, and then they might keep it separate, but it might rotate around. But it would be cool if they... Because, well, to be fair as well, Chaos formats are an interesting one, and we haven't had a Chaos format for a really, really long time. We did actually have a break from official formats, like we do sometimes, and we didn't get Chaos format. This year after Worlds, if we did get Chaos format, that'd be pretty cool if it was just everything.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to, but...
No, that'd be cool.
This is the Pokemon company we're talking about. But love you guys. Yeah, honestly, like, Kangaskhan is a good pick. I think Kangaskhan is a good pick. Whether it's going to break in our top 5 for the final voting will be interesting. But I definitely think Kangaskhan is something to think about. Right, so what's next on the list? Okay, right. This is one I thought of, but also Big Boy Blue agreed with me on this. Claydol.
Yeah, okay, so that was an interesting pick I saw.
Claydol, Walls Iron Hands.
Oh, yeah. It does.
Drain Punch, don't care. Thunder Punch, don't care. I think Claydol, early regulation Claydol with a Trick Room, I think Claydol could have been really, really good. Considering, like, it's quite defensively bulky. Like, obviously 60 HP isn't really great, but 120 special defense, 105 defense. It gets, like, Earth Power. I think you could give it Ice Beam as well.
Expanding Force. Are
you telling me, like, partnered that up with an Indeedee? I think Armor Rouge would have definitely had a tough time. Don't care who you are. I'm a firm believer Claydol could have actually done a bit of good in this format. Scorching Sands as well.
Oh, that would have been good into Annihilate as well. Being able to hit it with like a special Scorching Sands that did like loads of damage and then also burned it. If
exactly.
It tried to go for that. Yeah.
Like, and then you don't really care about those fists of rage.
Yeah.
I really like Claydol. I think Claydol's great. I really wanted to make it work in Generation 8, but it was unfortunately too late. Like, when I was looking into it, there was just so many things I could deal with it. Then Cryogonal came into my life.
And it could deal with it.
I think Claydol should have had a moment in the sun. The fact that it's that bulk, it's got quite a variety moveset. I think early regulation Claydol, I feel like really could have actually done some work. World Championship material, maybe not.
No, but I think it would have been a good Pokemon to tech onto a team as an anti-Size Pattern Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know, just to have the ground moves to take care of Armor Rouge and Iron Crown. That would have been quite cool. I like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I have nothing but respect for Claydol. I like Claydol a lot. I just think it's a very unique Pokemon, very interesting looking Pokemon. I don't think it would have gone too far.
Yeah, it does. I think it just probably gets like knocked out pretty quick. I mean, there's other Pokemon that seem to probably do what it probably wants to do as a little bit as well, like Bronzong.
Yeah, exactly. Bronzong. I reckon if you added Claydol and Bronzong instead of Bronzong, rather, The exact same result.
Yeah,
like, it would have been the exact same result because they are so similar.
Yeah,
like, obviously the typing is different, but the fact that they're both levitating, being a steel type, obviously helps it against, like, poison, not being affected by it. But again, Claydol doesn't get very affected by poison moves anyway. I just think it was worth talking about. I don't think it will be in our top 5 when it goes to voting for the Discord later. Early regulation Claydol probably would have had a niche. Obviously, Gen 9 produced quite a lot of things that could have countered Claydol, like Palafin, King Gambit as well.
Yeah, King Gambit.
But that's why you have Terrestrialization. Like, we can have a bit of fun with that. Terra Blast it things to death. Like... You know, Terra Grass.
Imagine having a Claydol on like a Miraidon team now.
Right.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be quite cool.
Does it get Trick Room?
Yes.
Because an anti-Trick Room Claydol tech would be quite cool. Because having to go Terra Ground on your Farigiraf to make sure that you can reverse the Trick Room is like pretty bad. You know, you if you didn't have to do that, that'd be great.
Also, it gets Charge Beam. I've just realised that. Oh, it gets Eerie Impulse as well? Oh my god. I'm starting to love you a bit more. I'll give you my time of day. And Rock Tomb, okay. It could also self-destruct. I forgot to mention that. It is a boom Pokemon. Yeah, honestly, I love Claydol. I think Claydol's great. I don't think it's going to get very far anyway. But yes, like you mentioned, very, very anti-pick for various teams. Yeah, including... Miraidon teams. You could probably counter other Ursalunas because you're levitating and nobody cares.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's cool, yeah.
Right, next up, Celesteela.
Brilliant Mon.
Brilliant Mon. Brilliant Mon. This Mon, from what I remember, is already a world champion.
I believe so.
I believe so, from what I remember. But look at how pleasing is those stats. 97 HP, 101 attack, 103 defense, 107 special attack, 101 special defense, and 61 speed. That is such pleasing stat distribution.
Yeah, for this specific Pokemon as well.
It is ridiculously bulky. The fact that it's a beast boosting Pokemon as well, I think is great. The fact it could get like very a lot of variety moves for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like the fact that it could Giga Drain, Leech Seed as well. You can learn Mega Horn, can learn Meteor Beam, you know, Rock Slide. Like it's literally, it could do so much.
Yeah.
Does it have a dark move? If it's got a dark move, then obviously that's game over. It's got Brutal Swing. Like, oh yeah, can you imagine terrestrializing to deal with the Callies? Celesteela is a great Pokemon, really is.
Getting the different beast boost activations is a really cool thing as well. Like something we're seeing with Fluttermane, you know, with a little bit of diversity in what boosts you get. Celesteela is like the OG of that because its stats are so minimized.
Yeah.
In like the differences of what they are. Match to match. You can get a defense boost one match, you can get an attack boost in one match, get intimidated, and get a different boost the next.
Can you imagine if you were power herbing into a Meteor Beam in an O code, but your highest stat is special defense? That's a free Calm Mind.
Yeah, you get Calm Mind and you O code something.
Yeah. That's mental.
Terra Rock just to make that even more disgusting.
Exactly. And like Big Boy Blues just said, like, dare I say a better Corviknight. This is actually like alternate dimension Corviknight.
Yeah.
We are the London Celesteelas.
This is actually Iron Corviknight.
Yeah. Iron Corviknight.
This is like, but even further in the future. It's not just a bird anymore, it's a freaking rocket.
In an alternate timeline, we're actually the London Celesteelas.
We are the London Celesteelas.
We have to go for a wall poll today, and then I'm not meeting my other self in another dimension. Are you kidding me? But yeah, honestly, Celesteela, ridiculously good Pokemon. I would actually dare to say, no, I am actually going to say it's the best Ultra Beast.
Do you think so?
I think it's the best Ultra Beast.
Let me stress that. Kartana's the best, right?
Yeah, but I mean, in Gen 9. If we added this into Gen 9, Kartana doesn't have a hope in hell.
Yeah, this would be the best of Gen 9.
This would be the best of Gen... Celesteela would be the best Ultra Beast in Gen 9 if it was in there.
Am I forgetting one?
So there's Buzzwole, there's Pheromosa.
Pheromosa might be alright. Buzzwole probably wouldn't be doing.
Guzzlord.
Guzzlord sucks. I'm sorry, Guzzlord.
Guzzlord, yeah, I mean, he's very cool looking, but he sucks.
He's edgy.
Nihilego, I think, would have been quite cool. But
Nihilego would be sick right now.
In this regulation? Not too sure. Not too sure about this regulation. Maybe earlier ones. I swear we're missing. What's the evolution of Poipole?
Oh, Naganadel.
Naganadel, that's it.
Yeah, whatever people call it.
Yeah.
That could have been alright. Dragons are alright at the moment, but I don't know about Dragon Poison type.
Honestly, I think Celesteela could have done the business.
Celesteela would have been good the whole time.
Thank you. Thank you, Ross.
Oh, Stack!
Stack Attacker. We forgot about Stack Attacker.
Rose and Thorns, thank you so much and welcome in.
Welcome in. Stack Attacker. Nobody mentioned Stack. How did no one mention Stack Attacker?
To be fair, I thought that all the Ultra Beasts were a bit of a given.
Yeah, that's true.
Stack is actually ridiculous.
Stack Attacker, the brilliant golden Minecraft brick house.
The opposite of... This is the real guy. If you're wondering about what Flutter main stocks are going down for, it's this guy.
Yep.
Look at these stats.
This is the mon that was banned for good reason. Look at that, 13 speed. This can learn Trick Room as well. Gyro ball, body press, rock slide, terrestrialize into anything you want, buddy.
Yeah.
Terra grass.
Terra grass would be ridiculous with this guy.
Oh, Stacker. I think yeah.
It doesn't even need the Terra grass because it actually outspeeds Among Us in Trick Room. So like, it doesn't even really need the Terra grass.
Stack Attacker went to the Legend of Zelda universe. Oh, of course, yeah, there was Circuitry as well. Circuitry actually would have been interesting.
He's been busy.
Blacephalon?
So, yeah. Blacephalon, good.
I'm not convinced about that one. But we're not going to add Stack Attacker to the list because nobody nominated it.
To be fair,
I reckon, yeah, Stack Attacker would have won by a freaking mile.
Yeah.
We could name it the Stack Attacker Award.
It's got 211 defense.
Oh, yeah.
What? 211?
Yeah.
That's the highest stat of any Pokemon, isn't it?
We can have a quick look.
I think that because I thought 181 was the highest stat because that's the highest attacking stat of any Pokemon, like base form Pokemon.
Oh no, Mega Aggron's 230, Shuckle 230, Steelix Mega 230.
That is crazy.
Heracross, Mega Heracross beats Cortana with 185 attack.
So only Shuckle beats it.
Only Shuckle beats that defense. Circuitry is the highest special attack with 173.
I thought it was 181. I don't know.
Special defense wise, again, it's Shuckle followed by Regice, and then quickest is of course Regieleki. Gotta go fast. Yeah, honestly, why did nobody nominate Stack Attacker?
Stack is the best.
Stack Attacker would have easily won this. I might actually comment that in Discord later. Be like, why did no one say Stack?
We just we do the whole thing and then we announce that Stack is just the winner anyway, even though nobody nominated it.
Oh,
we're all like,
can you imagine?
You're stupid.
You're stupid.
You're stupid. What Drain Punch?
What Drain Punch? What are you talking about? Togekiss. This is a no-brainer. Togekiss is disgusting.
What do you think it'd be doing mainly?
Yeah, this is what I was thinking as well. Like, what would have actually been more popular? Like, the Serene Grace support set or the Super Luck set with, like, Terra Fairy? Because I think both are extremely viable. To be honest with you, though, if Fluttermane didn't exist, Togekiss would have been that Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I wonder... Does it get Tailwind?
Yeah, I think it does.
Because even if it doesn't now, it probably would.
Yeah, it gets Tailwind.
See, yeah, because a lot of soft Tailwind setters were actually quite good at the beginning of the regulation.
Yeah.
Like in the early ones, so, like... Because it was only...
Oh, what? Roaring Moon?
Talonflame. Murkrow.
God, yeah, we had to rely on Murkrow for Tailwind.
Being able to have Togekiss in there, I mean, with the open team sheets, it wouldn't be as good, I don't think, because, I mean, it probably still would be good. Because it does two so specifically different things, it's just such... I reckon it could still... Both sets would still be used, I think, actually. Crit Kiss is still great in early... metas would have been really good into things like Murkrow and Annihilate.
Yep.
You know, Mouse Ape would have probably done really well into because it would have outsped.
It wouldn't care about the follow me at all with a Terra Fairy Dazzling Gloom.
Yeah,
because if you think about it, if you did that, then you have 2 chances of getting that crit.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't care. And I think what's amazing as well is that Togekiss gets Follow Me in its own right. It's quite bulky as it is. 85 HP, 95, and 105.
Would have been
115, sorry.
Imagine, do you remember like Great Tusk at one point was doing really, really good, wasn't it?
Great Tusk, yeah.
It would have destroyed Great Tusk if it was.
It would have annihilated it. Yeah, and then Iron Treads would have a rising usage because everyone's like, well, I can't do it with Great Tusk. I have to try it with Iron Treads.
Actually, it might have made Iron Treads better,
right?
Funnily enough, because the ground typing was really, really good, but not having the steel typing for it.
You need it. Like, Togekiss is just disgusting. And there is a reason why Togekiss isn't in this generation is because, it's too good.
Yeah.
It's too good. The fact that it can have 2 abilities that are super viable in Gen 9. Early Generation 8 as well, like everyone was running freaking Togekiss, Super Luck, critical hit boosting. Nobody cared. Like, if you were neutral against Togekiss in Generation 8, you were dead.
I calced Hariyama during BDSP to live a crit Dazzling Gleam, and it was max. It's max special defense, max HP, and it it lived with like a sliver of HP. And that was a Hariyama, That's a really good...
Oh, that's... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that was like no attack investment.
Oh, this thing gets Detect?
if it had detect, it doesn't even go down to like imprison Flutter Mane.
Just get crits on your dual wind beat as well. Like, oh my god.
Extreme speed.
Extreme speed Togekiss, ladies and gentlemen. Like on your 50 base power, sorry.
It would go so well into like Chi-Empower and Chi-Yu teams. Like, just how funny would that be? Just
it would be hilarious.
You go like Dazzling Gleam Heat Wave, and then Chi-Yu goes down. You go, oh no, Chi-Empower comes out, and then you just start going for like extreme speed.
It's so gross, this thing. Like Thunder Wave, Tailwind,
Tri-Attack.
It used to be
Roost. Normal type.
Yeah, it used to be a normal type.
Yeah, that's so funny.
This is a really, Togekiss, if we're talking about Pokemon that we're going to put up to the Discord later, immediately I'm thinking Ferroform Togekiss.
Yeah.
As the first two. Togekiss is just so much good things going for it. I can't think of other things that can be ignored. Right, last one, which was nominated by Kai. I thought about this while I was working today. Dracovish.
Yes.
Dracovish is disgusting. Dracovish is what Palafin was in Generation 8.
Yeah.
Think about this. Strong Jaw, In Rain, Vicious Rend, Terror Water. Nothing's living. Nothing. It's the Miraidon situation.
Yeah.
It's the Miraidon situation.
It is the Miraidon situation. It's actually worse.
It's a worse Miraidon situation.
We just forgot about it because it could run Clear Amulet now.
Yep. You can run Clear. I mean, speed-wise, it's only 75, so you would have to put it in Tailwind or go for a Choice Scarf to make sure you outspeed a lot of Pokemon.
Those stats aren't really very good for now as well, because it is quite an offensive Pokemon. But I would think it would be so funny if in Reg D, it got put on as a Water Absorb Pokemon to just counter Urshifu and that.
Of course, you've got to remember as well, Ogerpon is a thing. But before Ogerpon was introduced, Dracovish probably would have done a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Like, obviously, when Ogerpon was introduced, like, Dracovish's usage probably would have plummeted. Palafin usage was plummeting.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as Ogerpon was introduced, as soon as Urshifu was introduced. Dracovish would have easily been in the same situation. Again, you can modify it, so, you could go for, like, a Choice Banded Strong Jaw set, so we can have, like, Leech Life, Crunch, Fisher's Rend, put on another Jaw move on there, I don't know, Psychic Fangs, maybe. But I think what's interesting as well is when we look at these stats, if you're going to then do Choice Band, I don't think it's going to have usage. Because then Urshifu would have been introduced. Urshifu would have run Rapid. Ogerpon introduced. Ogerpon then overtakes that. Dracovish would have struggled post First Worlds.
Definitely. I think it wouldn't have gotten even to the first World Championship. I think it would have fallen off in Reg D.
Which is a shame, because like the amount of damage output this thing could do is the grossest. Like, it is worse than Miraidon. It is literally because of where it is what let it sit itself down. I mean, obviously, Dracovish is still fantastic, but, obviously we didn't see much Gastrodon in the earlier gens, in the earlier regs, sorry. Similar to any other Pokemon that had, like, Storm Drain and things like that. I mean, it would have been quite funny to watch Tatsugiri rise up in usage because of Dracovish. Like,
just Storm Drain Tatsugiri.
Just this, the rock impression looking fish.
Yeah.
Eyebrow down, and it's just like, do you smell what the Tatsugiri's cooking?
I'm just imagining the Dracovish is going in for one guy with the Fisher's Rend really crazy, and then it just sees that little fishy boy on the side and goes, I'm getting you now.
There's one thing I fear. It's that.
That little fish. I find it funny, though, because like Dracovish was actually a really good Pokemon, like, in spite of Dynamax.
Yeah,
It was really good even though Dynamax was around. It was a really good like endgame cleanup thing. So you would imagine that it would be quite good now, without Dynamax. But it didn't ever do very well without Dynamax. Not even in Spikemuth, which is quite funny.
I was expecting a lot more Spikemuth.
Yeah. Same.
But obviously that didn't happen. Actually, speaking of, I did forget to add one to the list, and I've just remembered it off the top of my head because I checked. I, of course, asked Twitter this question as well.
Oh, of course.
This wasn't just on the Discord. Tiger submitted Jellicent.
Yes, I was actually going to suggest Jellicent. That would have been my pick.
I did think about Jellicent because I used Jellicent quite a lot in Spikemuth. Just having like a Trick Room water spouting Pokemon is quite disgusting, considering the amount of damage it can do. The fact that it's got Water Absorb as well would have actually been really useful against things like Palafin. You would actually have to force Palafin to terrestrialize into like Terra Grass in order to deal with a Jellicent, because the moveset on a Palafin is the most limited thing ever.
And it also gets Strength Sap, which...
Exactly. Strength Sap, Recover, Energy Ball. Dark Pulse, Dazzling Gleam, you can see here as well. Blizzard, Giga Drain. Like, it's quite a good move pool.
It's great. I love Jellicent.
Like,
and it's a ghost type. Ghosts are so cool, man.
Ghosts are so cool, man. Shadow Ball, keep forgetting, yeah.
It would have done okay in spite of Fluttermane, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to take out a Fluttermane, don't get me wrong. But, like, if you're trying to set up Trick Room and they lead with Fluttermane, you would have lived Fluttermane and then set the Trick Room up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and then you could sweep from that. Yeah, the role that Jellicent plays, like, it's very good at doing that job. Like you mentioned, Strafe Samp.
Yeah, good into Iron Hands, actually, now I think about it, because it outspeeds it outside of Trick Room, and also there were some Iron Hands that were speed creeping in Sin, so they might even be able to underspeed if, we needed to, if it depended on how the meta went. Being able to switch into Drain Punch and stuff like that would have been really cool. It would suck in this current generation, though. It's just because Cataracts Shadow Rider would just destroy it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely say before Regulation F, maybe. Jellicent probably would have done... Oh, actually, maybe a little bit of F, but, like...
I could have done good in E. Yeah.
Yeah. Regulation G, however, I feel like it would be the time where Jellicent's sort of like, I've done my bit.
Yeah, if they put it in with the Kami decks, it could have had a little bit of time there, but it wouldn't have done anything good.
No.
It would have just had fun.
It would definitely have been a niche. Yeah, it would struggle, but it would definitely be a niche pick. I'm glad Tiger submitted this because, yeah, I think Jellicent does deserve a bit of recognition for its hard work. Also, it looks like the Pringles logo.
It has a pink version.
Yeah, there is a pink version as well.
It's got a lady one.
Very lady. But yes, like Gen 9 as well. Like, Jellicent definitely could have played around its situations, but again, it's not going to blow anyone's socks off. Not like Stack Attacker, which nobody freaking picked. How did we miss that anyway?
I don't know.
How did we
We're talking about big, bulky, really good Pokemon.
Big, bulky boys.
With a different type, and we're like, oh, Stack Attacker?
Stack Attacker, what? Like, us here at the London Corviknights, like big, bulky boys.
Yeah, well, we're embarrassing ourselves.
Right, so the next part of all this is now to narrow this list to 5. And then, actually, do we want to quickly go over the legendaries?
I mean, I think we can hit the Tapus all in one go. Because it's pretty self-explanatory. They'd be great because they set terrain and they're all fairy type.
Yeah, I think if we're going to briefly talk about the legendaries, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think Xerneas and Yveltal are too good, which is a shame, honestly. I think, obviously, the reason why is because ZA is coming out next year. I need to actually spell Yveltal. Especially Yveltal, I think would have been too gross for this generation. Level 500, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Yveltal's too good. Yveltal's too good for this generation. Dark Aura, can you imagine putting that next to something with Snarl? Too much damage, too much to deal with. Iron Hands would have freaking shined, though.
I think it'd be quite neutral, weirdly enough, just because Iron Hands would have to have the electric terrain and an electric move to really do much against Yveltal, I think.
Yeah.
And then it would Oblivion Wing it back for neutral damage and get 75% of his health back. And Iron Hands has got a lot of health sometimes, so... I
think Xerneas is also pretty self-explanatory. Just Terra Fairy, Power Herb, Geomancy, Dazzling Gleam, good luck with that. Run to the shelters.
Yeah, and Moongus is already good enough this generation without having Xerneas to back it up even more.
Yeah, I think all of the Tapus in their own way is viable.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why I say that is actually I do believe in Tapu Bulu. I think Tapu Bulu is an amazing Pokemon. I think if you gave Tapu Bulu Grassy Glide, which I am kind of convinced they would.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because of all the other Pokemon that have become a bit overpowered, like this power creep sort of situation, give Tapu Bulu Grassy Glide, you're going to see magic.
It's just a TM now as well. I mean, there'd be no reason why I wouldn't reasonably learn it. It being a tutor move before makes sense, but yeah, Tapu Bulu would get that.
Tapu Bulu, I think, should have got that. I think Tapu Koko, 100% Tapu Koko would have seen usage, considering like very little electric surge Pokemon available, because it's literally Miraidon or Pincurchin at this point. Nothing against Pincurchin. Pincurchin's amazing. He is just a little spiky boy.
He's just
He's just a little spiky boy. He tries. He does this little waddling, and he's just like, oh, I see you there, sucker punch. Tapu Fini again. Tapu Fini definitely would have seen some usage, considering like there is no misty terrain going around. None.
I
think the only ever time I've ever seen anyone run a Pokemon with Misty Surge, or Misty Terrain even, was Paul J. Spear in a very early London Corviknight tour that we did in Gen 9. And he was running Misty Terrain Grimmsnarl to counteract Psychic Terrain.
Yeah.
Which is very good. That's you wasting a turn to like set a terrain up. Obviously Glaring Wheezing, but Glaring Wheezing wasn't really introduced until much later on, and it was a bit too late for it. I still think the Tapus could do it. I think the Tapus could do some work. I think just though, if we're going to have to order it, I would definitely probably put Coco first, Finny, then Lele, then Bulu.
Lele... Spam was so good this generation.
Spam is really good.
I don't know if it's actually fast enough to be the fast mode answer on the Spam teams without it also being a problem. Because it
doesn't learn expanding force. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
I don't think you can learn expanding force. Plus, like, Indeedee the psychic terrain setter for a reason because of its bulk and the fact that it's a psychic normal type.
Oh, do you know what? I just said to myself, oh, it would get psychic terrain. It would get expanded force, though, wouldn't it? But it wouldn't. They specifically distributed that.
Yeah.
It's not a TM.
Oh yeah, no, it's not a TM.
Yeah,
oh no, it is TM now. I think.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure if I'm honest with you.
If Bulu got Glide and Tapu Lele didn't get expanding force, I think actually Bulu would be on top. But I do agree it goes Coco Finny because Coco, weirdly enough, I've always been a bit upset that electric terrain just prevents sleep. I think in this generation specifically, for some reason, Coco would actually be the better pick.
Yeah, because I think as well, one of the core functionalities of Gen 9 is flawed in the fact that you have all the future Paradox Mons having to have electric terrain in order to activate an ability. So you need electric terrain. And yeah, we've seen electric terrain boosted Iron Hands with Assault Vest go absolute ham. Iron Bundle as well, to a certain extent, doing really well. I feel as though the flaw in it is the fact that if you're going to have the past Paradox Mons activate ability using Sun, you should have made the future Paradox activate via Rain.
I think that they specifically made it two things that don't interact on purpose.
It's true. I just don't think it works, though.
It's interesting because it means that they're crossing over lots of archetypes, and it just doesn't. I like the idea because it means that people can get creative and run like a Sun and this terrain team, and also they could run that, but they haven't given us the tools to actually do that.
No, exactly, and that's the problem. Yeah. Like, if you're not going to give us the tools, we can't make them work.
Yeah, but then it would become really confusing if you had to start like using one turn to start countering Sun and terrain. Like, like, what would you do? Like, you would use Terapagos, and then Terapagos would just be broken.
Can you imagine if they introduced more Pokemon like Calyrex, where it has two abilities, so it could counter the weather and terrain?
Yeah, well,
like
that. Yeah.
Can you imagine? It would just be this blob, like this smoke blob.
A Cloud 9 Pokemon that also sets terrain. Or something like that.
Yeah.
It just sets misty terrain.
What is it? Paradox, Licky Licky, let's go. But yes, the Tapus are the Tapus for a reason. Like, I do think, Tapu Koko. I mean, Tapu Koko's already world champion, but like, I think Tapu Koko definitely would have had a shout to be a multi-world champion from this. A Tapu Fini's always Tapu Fini, like, bulky, the water fairy typing's really nice, because you could literally just muddy water.
There'd be a Specs Tapu Fini.
There'll be a Specs Tapu Fini.
Yeah.
There'll also be a set where it's just leftovers, muddy water, calm mind. Somebody doing a follow me maybe to help boost that Tapu Fini a bit.
Yeah, especially during the boosting meta where people were doing a lot of like setup. Yeah, it would have done really well.
So, there's loads of Tapu's not being in is a bit of a shame. Personally, I think it's because obviously this is my opinion, so don't hate me if I get this right. I personally think it's because we are going to see different forms of Tapus in Legend ZA. I do think that's probably the case. If they actually just disincluded the Tapus for the hell of it, that I think it's wrong. But if they got rid of them because they're going to appear in Legend ZA for a reason, then sure. But my worry is that they were going to turn them all from Fairy to Steel.
Yeah.
So all of them would be immediately weak to ground. It's just like, no!
Tapu Bulu would be good, though. It's the only one that's neutral.
Tapu Bulu's like, hey, Ferrothorn, I'm you, just more attacking.
Oh, but then Tapu Koko gets completely
It gets annihilated, yeah. Tapu Fini.
No.
Tapu Fini would be interesting, though, being a water steel type, considering the only other one is Embolian. But that's just my opinion. I'm probably not going to be right about this. If I am, I'm going straight to the bookmakers to put a bet on. National Lottery, here I come. I think the Tapus haven't been included for a reason. If the Pokemon did get rid of them, really, what are you doing kind of situation. But anyway, right, so we talked about the legendaries. Lots of people wanted us to talk about legendaries, even though they didn't read the question properly. There's half this list, basically, and try and get 5 or 6 Pokemon as the 6 to select to Discord. I'm going to propose 2 immediately off the bat, Ferrothorn and Togekiss.
Yep.
I mean, chat, obviously, if you have opinions on this as well, please do share. Chat, I don't know how we feel about things like Walrein, Durant, Golisopod, Kartana, Kangaskhan. I definitely think Ferrothorn and Togekiss are 2 musts. I would also probably potentially say Celesteela.
I think Celesteela is a must.
So we got 3. So I think we could do 6.
Yeah, all right. So if I do a poll...
I think we should only poll the ones that we feel are probably could be a shout. Golisopod, I feel like, could be one. We could put Kartana in there.
Yeah.
If you want. I don't know. What are you feeling?
I think Kartana's good. Golisopod is an interesting one.
I can't see Claydol.
I don't think Claydol would actually...
No. I can't see Durant. I can't see Durant in that.
I think Durant could have been good early, so it could get points, but I think Jellicent is actually a good shout.
Yeah, we'll put Jellicent in there then. Do we want to put Dracovish? We weren't really convinced about Dracovish, were we?
I think the thing that we're really filling in here is what we think would be, because the other ones that we picked already would probably be good from the beginning till now. What we're picking out for the last 2 are what the ones that might have been good at one point, but...
Oh, okay. Do you know what? I think we should just say sod it. Let's put Claydol and Dracovish in the poll. Let's put Kangas. Let's put them all in the poll. Why not?
Right, poll's going now, guys. It's only a minute, so you've got to get your votes.
Yeah, get your voting quick.
And then the next poll will be Kangaskhan. Right, and at the moment, Golisopod.
Oh wow, Golisopod's freaking...
He's actually winning. I was quite surprised.
Oh, everyone's going for it.
I think that might be a blowout.
I think that's a blowout. I think Golisopod wins.
There we go, Golisopod. Congratulations.
Congratulations, you advanced to the next round. Oh, speech.
He's just like...
I'd like to thank my mom. Hey, Togekiss, Ferrothorn, and then Golisopod easily won that poll. Celesteela. So we've got 2 slots left. Should we do Jellicent? Should we do an all water type one? Dracovish, Jellicent, and Walrein.
All right, cool.
Have that as an all-purpose water one then.
Well, it turns out Jellicent is the winner. A little bit more decisive this time.
Jellicent wins. Well done, Jellicent. Well done, Jellicent. Yeah, well done, Jelly.
We weren't ready for it.
You were not ready. Okay, so there's 1 slot left. Is going to be between Durant, Kangaskhan. Oh, and that's it. Unless you want to throw... we can't put Stack Attacker in. Nobody voted for it. Like, we can't put Stack in. I'm sorry.
No. So, Kang,
Durant. Yeah, I think that's going to have to be it. Why does that sound like a Marvel versus the ANBA thing? Kevin Durant versus Kang the Conqueror.
So the poll was won by Kangaskhan.
Oh, I'm glad I predicted that then. The 6 Pokemon that will be going to the Discord for voting, as nominated by the people in this stream right here. So if anyone complains, I'll just say, well, there were 7 people in the stream.
Yeah, blame
them. I want Barrett to get a list.
Yeah, that's it. Right, I'm tracking you all down right now. Thank you for everyone for coming.
Yes, thank you everyone for being here, but it's also your fault. So the 6 that are going to the Discord to be nominated best Pokemon to not be in Scarlet and Violet are Togekiss, Ferrothorn, Golisopod, Celesteela, Jellicent, and Kangaskhan. Those 6 were nominated by you lot. We'll send them over to the Discord. Next week we'll find an answer to this question. I'm actually going to be pretty interested to see who picks who. Because I wasn't expecting the last poll to be Miraidon only getting 2 votes.
Yeah.
Terrapagos kind of ran away with it. Shadow Rider Calyrex wasn't even on. Shadow Rider Calyrex finished 4th out of 5th with like 6 votes. Oh, well, some people have changed their results since last time. That's hilarious.
They just didn't like it.
They actually didn't. Like, wow, they changed. Wow, they changed their. That's quite.
They gave up. I didn't even prep a proper answer. Jellicent got on.
We are people of culture
from Twitter, and but yeah, you know what? Stack will win the next thing.
I will come up with a question that makes Stack Attacker win.
Yeah, what's your favorite trick?
What's your favorite Pokemon that looks like a lot of bricks put together? Who nominated Garganacl? Oh, Stack, I'm so sorry. I'm literally gonna have to apologize to Stack Attacker next time I see it in game. It is unfortunate. I'm literally going through the end, and I would love to do the jokey pastes, but I think we'll have to do that next time.
Yeah, we'll do that next time. That's cool.
Because we've run out of time. So obviously, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us tonight. We just need to remind people there is, of course, our weekly Scarlet and Violet tour happening on Friday. It is, of course, Discord exclusive. So if you want to join the Discord, there should be a Discord link somewhere. Of course, you can follow myself and Barrett on Twitch. I might be streaming on Thursday. I have no idea what I'm doing. Probably some Dynamax Adventures, maybe, on Thursday. But you can also follow the YouTube channel for the London Corviknights, where we upload the episode. We're going to try and do some more stuff, more than the podcasts, now that things are dying down. I'm still in the process of putting things together for a league. that we are hoping to launch for the summer for people in the Discord, exclusive to the Discord, because they are awesome and they deserve all the love in the world. Oh yes, we are planning to start doing guest appearances on the podcast, similar to when we had our anniversary episode with Nerd and Clodburger.
Oh yes,
Jim the Clodburger. I need that as an emote. We're getting that done as an emote. So if you're a member of our community, you'll be eligible to be a guest on our podcast. If you're interested in doing that, please let myself or Barrett know, or there is a post in the London Corviknights announcement section that you can react to be part of that. We have a list already of people that we would like to be on the podcast. Whether that's going to be a thing or not is obviously anyone's guess.
Speaking of which, though, if there is anyone that you want to see come onto the podcast,
that's very true as well.
You know, you could help us out. You know, a little bit of atting them on Twitter or something maybe would be quite interesting.
Exactly. Let us know. You know, we would love to have a lot of people to talk to and annoy. What do you mean you don't like Corviknight?
Just tell me what you think about Pikachu.
Like, what do you mean balance isn't good? Just Barrett's like screaming his head off, being like 252, 252. Modest nature is the best nature.
Well, if it was open nature, why would you run adamant?
The best spread, 252, 252.
No 4 allowed.
Every single time I pick up butter, I think, wow, 252 is the best spread.
I can't believe that's not max speed.
Oh dear.
To be fair, I just remember, by the way, I got bullied on Showdown the other day. I totally forgot to mention it. I'll talk about it next time.
Okay. All right. Like, we're talking about spreads, and then Barrett goes, by the way, I was bullied on Showdown.
I just remembered that I got bullied on Showdown the other day, but yeah.
Oh, I love this podcast. I love this community so much. Oh, Barrett, you treasure. You absolute treasure. But yes, obviously all updates are going to go through the Discord, so do let us know. I have also edited the question of the day bot because for some strange reason it just stopped working. So I added a bunch of questions into it. If there is any questions you can think of to ask the community via the question of the day bot, use the server feedback section of the Discord. We are back, of course, next Tuesday for the podcast. We'll let people know if we're going to do something on Monday night. Have a good week to all of you. I hope you all have a fantastic week. If I don't hear from you, also have a great weekend as well. Enjoy NAIC. Good luck to anyone participating in NAIC this weekend, because you've got this. You can do this. You are going to get that World's invite. All those people who are still going to get that World's invite, you've got this. Much love from myself. I've been IMAC404. He's been Barrett C9. Much love to you all. Have a good night, all.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.